All right, thanks for attending this informative speech today. The informative speech is going to be on the most common cause of the fires in the theater of operations here in Iraq. By the time the speech is over, you'll have a clear understanding of the do's and don'ts of what causes fires and prohibited items that are not supposed to be in your rooms or your work areas, and actions that we can take to clear the stuff out of the rooms and take care of any electrical hazards that we face day to day. All right, you'll learn also any changes that come out as policy-wise, any changes that we need to address as far as wiring, unsolicited wiring, whatever kind of wiring is not supposed to be out there. What to check for in the rooms on your own and the leadership that needs to be addressed as well. Contrary to soldiers' belief, a fire can happen to you if you don't adhere to all the safety standards and policies that are out there. You can fall victim to being, fire in your room or fire in your workplace, stuff like that, and you could be a threat to yourself or individuals that you're living with or working with as well. Fires happen at a rate of 3.7 a day here in theater. And 63% of those account for electrical fires, which is pretty much 2 out of the 3.7 that happen. So electrical fires are a big concern. That's something we're trying to address. The Army has made it a big issue to fight these fires and combat them before they happen. Due to the faulty wiring, that's one concern. Faulty wiring installed by KBR or whoever installed it. Soldiers and civilians are overloading their plugs. Damaged wiring that's still in use today, so all that stuff is one of the reasons why the fires happen. Today we'll discuss 3 main points. One is the 5 most common fire hazards in theater to date. 2 is deficiencies found during routine inspections. And 3 is actions to be taken to correct safety violations. Most of my information today came from the Electrical and Fire Safety Progress Report put out from Task Force State as of 13 February 2009. Let us look at the 5 most common causes of fires. 1 is overloaded power strips and extension cords. Soldiers and civilians are notorious for plugging all kinds of stuff into one power strip, whether it be TVs, coffee pots, microwaves, fridges, radios, you name it, they're trying to stick it all on one. The rule of thumb for TVs is 25 inch and above, have to be on their own dedicated outlet. Coffee pots, refrigerators, and microwaves are the same. They have to be on their own separate outlet as well. Coffee pot has to be on its own. If the watts are too high for it to be everything combined as one. Right? Along with that, if you have a coffee pot in your room, you have to get it inspected and blessed off on by a licensed contractor, electrician, saying that they know the coffee pot's in your room and it has to be on file. Second, most cause of fires is damage or altered extension cords and power strips. Soldiers and civilians both are still using the damaged stuff out there. If it's burned up, if that one plug's burned up, they use the other cord. Or, if it's burned up, they cut it and tape it and do whatever. So anything damaged needs to come out of the rooms, come out of the workplace. It's a fire hazard. It's not going to last. The electrical tape is not meant for 110 volts. It's meant for 12-volt car batteries, stuff like that. They're using the ground wires, the plugs are being removed because they don't fit into what the soldiers are trying to plug it into. So they alter them, they damage them. So if you find that stuff in your soldier's room, or if you have it, go back and check the rooms and get that stuff out of there, because if there's a short, then it's going to cause fire. That's the ground floor. It's there for the electricity to go somewhere. And if it doesn't have nowhere to go, then it's going to short out and cause a fire. Another one is soldiers are becoming creative and they cut in the cord off the 220 and make it into 110. Again, splicing into it and taping it up and calling it a 110, which is not, it won't hold the bolts. So get rid of that stuff if you have it. The third major cause of fire is damage to electrical outlets and electrical wiring exposed from unauthorized wiring. Soldiers are either one, splicing into the wiring outlets, making their own wires, or if they don't have an outlet on this side, they're splicing in, making their own outlet. If it's damaged, they're continuing to use it. So we are not authorized as a whole to use any kind of outlets that are exposed or do any kind of wiring at all in the shoes, in the buildings, or anything. The fourth common cause of fire is smoking in the rooms. All right, you can't smoke in your rooms, you can't have candles in your rooms, you can't burn incense in your rooms, you can't have crock pots, any kind of cooking appliances, you're not supposed to be in the rooms. All right. No skillets or hot plates, all must be removed promptly, if it's found in your room, just get rid of it. And the fifth, last, is the interior and exterior lights with covers is another big concern that's causing fires. So many civilians are taking off the light covers and putting up sheets or blankets or some other kind of stuff that's set the mood. I don't know what it's doing, but it's covering it. It's covering the light. The light gets hot. It blows the ballast. It gets hot, and it causes a fire. All right. Some of the most common fire hazard deficiencies and violations that are found are overloaded extension cords, they're already covered. You have fire extinguishers missing, not properly hung. Smoke detectors have been removed. The batteries have been removed, missing completely or just taken apart. Improper bulbs and fluorescent light fixtures, and again, exterior and interior light covers missing. All right. Some of the pictures that we have today, video slides. We have one is overload extension cord that's strapped to a desk. They have all kinds of stuff plugged into this thing. If you see this room here, they have the refrigerator and the microwave and the crock pot all plugged into the same thing. Yes, no go. An example of a burnout 220 volt extension power strip. It's burnt out, but it's still in use. They still got all kinds of stuff plugged into it, and this is missing the cap here. So there's some of the things that we found during the inspection that need to be addressed. Conclusion. Today the main points that we have discussed are the five major common causes of fires. We've covered the routine inspections, what was found during the routine inspections, and the actions that we need to be taken to combat the electrical fires or the areas of emphasis that the Army wants us to go after and stop. A little slogan I want to say. In closing, don't be the victim. You are one of the individuals with these known deficiencies. Correct it properly. Let us not have any needless loss of life. Thank you for attending my briefing on fire safety. That concludes the briefing. Thank you.